Microbrew beers have exploded in popularity over the past few years, but there's another type of microbrew that people are starting to notice: coffee. And joining me this morning is one of the owners of a company that specializes in that. It's Brad Kopek from White Pine Coffee. Good morning, Brad. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us out.
What's the difference between a microbrew coffee and coffee that someone might just find at a grocery store?
The biggest difference when we purchase our beans and get samples in from our suppliers is that ours are not bought off the commodity market. We get individual beans sent to us. We test roast all of them ourselves and select micro batches or micro lots to then turn into a product.
So what's the difference there? Do you have more control over the coffee? Are you able to find a higher quality coffee? What's the difference?
All the above and more. Less defects in the coffee. There's a whole rating system to have what's called a specialty quality coffee. Specialty coffee is considered the top 5% of all coffees grown in the world, and that's pretty much exclusively what we deal with at White Pine Coffee.
All right. And where are you guys located?
Lake Orion, Michigan.
And where do you guys roast your coffee?
Right in Lake Orion in what we call lumber camp.
All right. And where does this coffee come from? We have some coffee here. We're going to make some this morning?
Definitely. What we have today, this morning for you, is our Cup of Excellence award-winning coffee from Brazil. It's a pulped natural coffee, and that placed 4th last year. So
4th last year in all of Brazil in that class?
In that class, yes.
So we're talking about not just really good coffee, but world elite coffee.
It gets the gold sticker. Yeah.
All right. And so let's make some.
Sure.
Let's get right to it.
Get this heated up. We used a magic grinder a little bit ago. This is already pre-grinded, but for some effect.
All right.
So we got 20 grams of coffee in here.
And it's really specific. 20
Yes.
grams, not a cupful, not a teaspoonful, 20 grams.
No, we got a scale here that's accurate to the 1/10 of a gram. Turn that on. Throw in our little Brazilian COE pulped natural. And then the water's coming to boil there.
And so we'll make the coffee. I'll let you grab that. When you measure it so precisely, what do you get?
You can dial in your taste preferences. These coffees have, like wine, terroir. So you're tasting the soil, the weather, the genetics of the bean, everything. And we also have a full line of blends that give you the more familiar coffee experiences. But these single origins, as they're referred to, are a very specific expression of the bean and the soil and the climate.
All right, we have about 30 seconds left.
Sure.
What types of flavors do you guys have? You mentioned blends. What's the range of flavors of coffee that you guys have?
So light roast to dark roast, we have a full blend line, and then the single origin lumber baron selections, we have 15 offerings from all over the globe. So we'll cut through the chase right there. I'll continue to make this drip and pour over.
And tell us where folks can find White Pine Coffee if they want to try something new and interesting.
Definitely. There's a couple stores around town, but whitepinecoffee.com is the easiest place to start your search, and we have a list of stores on the site where we're carried.
It is very, very good. And I drink a lot of coffee. Being an early riser, and this is some very, very good coffee.
Thank you.
Said they can find it just as not a warning, but just sort of a note, because it's a premium and specialty coffee, it's a little more expensive.
It is, but when you compare it to adding cream, sugar, and then wasting coffee, we find it's more than worth it.
It's fantastic. We'll be back with more right after this. Thanks.